easy to break. He's counting the cuts on his knuckles, and every last chance that they take. They talk like the room is their kingdom. He studies the cracks in the crown. They don't see the storm in his shoulders, or how still he gets before ground pound. Don't mistake his silence for weakness. Don't mistake his patience for surrender. When the gentleman speaks, cities listen. When he moves, the ground remembers. Yeah, they wrote him off as a whisper, till his name came down like thunder. When the gentleman speaks, cities listen. When he moves, the ground remembers. He smiles, lets the chaos keep burning. He's learned what a single word costs. He walks like he's tracing old fault lines, where battles were buried, not lost. They sharpen their teeth on his calmness. They push just to see if he breaks. He's marking the faces, the moments, the promises he'll never make twice. Don't mistake his silence for weakness. Don't mistake his patience for surrender. When the gentleman speaks, cities listen. When he moves, the ground remembers. Yeah, they wrote him off as a whisper, till his name came down like thunder. When the gentleman speaks, cities listen. When he moves, the ground remembers. New suit, old scars, cufflinks hide a shaky hand. Polished shoes on broken pavement, every stride a second chance. Collar stiff, jaw set, he nods at ghosts in passing cars. They still call him by his street name. He just straightens that tie, walks on. Harder right over easy wrong. Every time he don't pray to be forgiven, just to be strong. Gentleman by choice, not by blood or by law. Harder right, though the easy wrong still call. He tips the girl who sweeps the floor, remembers when that broom was his, back when pride was just a rumor and survival made the rules. Corner boys laugh, we know you. They see the fist he used to swing. Now it's fingers on his wedding band, white knuckles loosening. is it will, when your past still knows your door. He turns the handle, locks it twice, leaves those habits on the floor.
He pours you wine, tells a joke that lands just right, holds the door, says your name like it's a lie. Tie is straight, every gesture, every line, but the quiet in his gaze doesn't match the practice shine. You catch the flinch when someone drops a glass. You see a storm when the room just laughs. He's a porcelain gentleman, unchipped, uncracked, on the shelf to admire, but the glaze hides fingerprints, burnt edges, oh, fire. There's a soldier standing guard in his grin, and a child in the shadow of his skin. He's a porcelain gentleman, but the story's written on the back of his eyes. He knows your drink, knows the exits in the room, counts the steps from the corner to the door, smiles on cue, plays the part they all assume, holds the world like it's something he must absorb. He says I'm fine and he changes the day, but his shoulders tell it the other way. He's a porcelain gentleman, unchipped, uncracked, on the shelf to admire, but the glaze hides fingerprints, burnt edges, oh, fire. There's a soldier standing guard in his grin, and a child in the shadow of his skin. He's a porcelain gentleman, but the story's written on the back of his eyes. Once he was small, running through summers that ended too soon, packing his dreams in a box marked later in the corner of his room. He learned early how to stand when knees still shook, how to answer every question with a practiced look. He's a porcelain gentleman, unchipped, uncracked, on the shelf to admire, but the glaze hides fingerprints, burnt edges, oh, fire. There's a soldier standing guard in his grin, and a child in the shadow of his skin. He's a porcelain gentleman. If you really listen, you can hear him cry from the back of his eyes.
that's all. Folk sirens cry themselves out, street lights choked on smoke. I kicked through burned out letters, last week's unpaid bills. Pulled my coat a little tighter, felt the world stand still. When the world goes down in slow blues, I just loosen my tie, strike a spark, real man standing in the rubble, let a red eye glow in the dark. If chaos comes calling, I tell it pull up a chair, you're late anyway. And the day's out here on Main Street, just another Tuesday. Just another Tuesday. Windows full of old mannequins, still dressed for the spring. Ash on their painted lips, like they try to sing. Car alarms click to silence, dogs lay down their bark. I cup that little flame like a prayer in the dark. I just loosen my tie, strike a spark, real man standing in the rubble, let a red eye glow in the dark. If chaos comes calling, I tell it pull up a chair, you're late anyway. And the day's out here on Main Street, just another Tuesday. Oh yeah. In the tray, clock blinking 3. Everyone gone but the ghost of me. Stare through the glass at the neon door.
Hear my own heartbeat and a bar stool creak on the floor. Between the smoke and the silence, there is truth. Where the words I never said still hang on you. In the lull between my anger and my youth, between the smoke and the silence, there is truth. Warm in my chest, cold in my hands, phone on the bar, buzzing once, then it stands. Sip till the bottle looks almost kind. Trade little sips of poison for a softer state of mind. Between the whiskey and the dawn, there is peace. Like the world forgets to shout, begins to ease. All the hurt that used to howl falls to a whisper, finds release. Between the whiskey and the dawn, there is peace. A gentleman lives in the spaces that others ignore. Walk right through in the pause before an answer, in the doubt before I do, in the breath before an apology, in the shake of an outstretched hand, in the choice to stay a little softer than the night demands. Oh, between the smoke and the silence, there is truth. Where the mirror shows me someone I once knew. If I listen to the quiet, it pulls me through. Between the smoke and the silence, there is truth. Between the whiskey and the dawn, I make my vow to live inside those spaces. Start here, start now.
Empty streets, sharp front glass, all dark. Midnight hanging from a flickering park, color up. Rain writes on his coat, every drop. Another swallow, no. He lost it all, but not himself. Walked out clean from a burning hell. never dropped to his knees, never bit that hand. He just kept walking, hands in his pockets, fire in his chest like a promised land. Bent street sign, old bars boarded up, his name scratched on a paper cup. He had keys, now he just has stride, no rule, but he still has pride. He lost it all, but not himself. Walked out clean from a burning hell. Never dropped to his knees, never bit that hand. He just kept walking, hands in his pockets, fire in his chest like a promised land. Let the rain come harder, come on. Let the cold wind press. He won't open his palm, won't trade that last yes. He lost it all, but not himself. Walked out clean from a burning hell. Never dropped to his knees, never kissed that hand. He just kept walking, hands in his pockets, fire in his chest. He's a one-man stand.
Last glass alone, cut crystal, shaking in my hand, suit jacket draped on the chair, tie loosened, war paint on, memories lined up like bottles, names etched in the dust, battles I swore I'd forgotten come back when the room goes quiet. Here's to the code I never broke, raise it high, don't let it show, never let them see you bleed, only polish, only gold, midnight confessions to an empty room, only these walls know the truth. I practice my smile in the window. Perfect teeth, tired eyes. If grace is a kind of armor, why does it feel this tight? Here's to the code I never broke. Raise it high, don't let it show. Never let them see you bleed. Only polish, only gold. Midnight confessions to an empty room. Only these walls know the truth. I'm still standing like a gentleman, but I'm breaking in this suit.
They cut the lights, took their mercy back, left me talking to the dust and the dust talk back. Cold concrete, prints from every fall. I learned how to stand with my teeth on the wall. Last man standing after everyone ran. Built a whole kingdom with blood on my hands. No apologies, no begging for a second chance. Strength in the shadows, respect in the silence. I never asked, never asked. Burn my name right out of their mouths. Let the smoke write stories they don't talk about. I buried the fear where the sunlight ends. Sharpened every heartbreak into armor on my skin. Last man standing after everyone ran. Built a whole kingdom with blood on my hands. No apologies, no begging for a second chance. Strength in the shadows, respect in the silence. I never asked. They only see the scars, I only see the map. Every line a compass pointing me back. Not here to be forgiven, not here to be blessed. I already died in the fire. This is what's left. Yeah, last man standing after everyone ran. Built a whole kingdom with blood on my hands. No apologies, no begging for a second chance. Strength in the shadow, respect in the silence. I never asked, never asked.
War drums in his chest, for the sun even moves. Coffee cooling in his hand, eyes scanning empty rooms. They call him overreacting for feeling tremors in the ground. But he can read the weather in how the silence sounds. He was built for storms, not for easy, not for warm. The world wants him gentle, wants him quiet, wants him torn. But he squares his shoulders, lets the thunder take its form. A gentleman of battle. He was built for storms. Smiles at the insult, lets the sting just pass on through. Holds the door, says after you, while measuring the truth. He doesn't go out hunting for a fight to feed his name. But if trouble crosses over, it will leave a different man. He prays before he raises any word that cuts or scars. Keep my hands for lifting, but teach my heart of war. Because mercy is a weapon, and resolve is forged in bone. He'll stand alone, stand shaking, but he will not be overthrown. For storms, not for easy, not for war. The world wants him gentle, wants him quiet, wants him torn. So he breathes like thunder, lets the rising winds transform. A gentleman in conflict, who never runs the course. He was built for storms. He was built for storms. Laces stay loose. He knocks at the bodega man, never has to introduce. Knows which door sticks, which cop looks twice, which kid's gonna run his mouth. Step back, think twice. He reads the alleys like lines in his palm. Every worn brick spelling out songs. He's a gentleman with an edge, walking that invisible ledge. Got a please on his tongue, got a don't test me stare. City in his pocket, yeah, he moves like air. He's a gentleman with an edge, tips his hat, pays his debts. Every crack in the pavement signed in sweat, not blood. Street taught grace in the neighborhood. An extra bill in the jar by her hand. Shakes old hands with the quiet respect, but he clocks every angle, every subtle defect. He'll walk you home, then spot the tail. One look, one stare, they decide to bail.
that invisible ledge. Got a please on his tongue, got a don't test me stare. City in his pocket, yeah, he moves like air. He's a gentleman with an edge. Tips his hat, pays his debts. Every crack in the pavement signed in sweat, not blood. Street taught grace in the neighborhood.
Corner booth, back to the wall. Coffee gone cold, rain on the awning. He counts the lights in a single glance. Sees the wedding ring on a wandering hand. He reads the tremor in a lighter flame. The way the bartender forgets a name. Every nervous laugh, every borrowed touch. He files it away, never says too much. He sees everything, but he says nothing. Let the city talk till the truth comes through. Every tired face is a quiet confession. He just nods once. That's what gentlemen do, yeah. He hears the blues so you don't have to. Lipstick smudge on a crumpled note. Stale perfume on a wrinkled coat. Taxi brakes hiss like a warning sign. He knows who's cheating and who's out of time. He tracks the shadows sliding down the glass. The kid at the counter short on cash. The cop in the corner staring at his shoes. Everybody bleeding in a different hue. He sees everything, but he says nothing. Let the city talk till the truth comes through. Every tired face is a quiet confession. He just nods once. That's what gentlemen do, yeah. He hears the blues so you don't have to. He's got last names tucked in his wallet, dates and places scribbled in his mind. If you really listened when the night gets silent, you'd hear his heart humming low in time. He sees everything, but he says nothing. Let the city talk till the truth comes through. Every tired face is a quiet confession. He just nods once. That's what gentlemen do. Gentleman detective with the blues in his blood. Yeah. He hears it all and he drowns it in the mud.
Night meeting in the back room, dust on the bottles, lock on the door. Curtains breathing like they got lungs, ashtray mountains, cigarette wars. He leans back in a cracked red chair, tie loosened, eyes like a blade. Says, talk clean, talk quick, kid. Every word you say gets weighed. Your word is your bond or your grave. Choose what you bury, what you say. Once it leaves your mouth, it don't come back. In the smoking shadow, you sign in black. Your word is your bond or your grave. You walk in talking, walk out changed. Every quiet promise carved in stone. Say it like you might not make it home. Handshake deal in a yellow bulb halo. Palms dry but your heartbeat slips. He smiles like a man who's seen storms and picked teeth from his own split lips. Names written on the inside wall, no ink, just debts unpaid. He taps that list with a chipped gold ring. Says, I count ghosts by the vows they made. Your word is your bond or your grave. Choose what you bury, what you say. Once it leaves your mouth, it don't come back. In the smoking shadow, you sign in black. Your word is your bond or your grave. You walk in talking, walk out changed. Every quiet promise carved in stone. Say it like you might not make it home. Swear tonight, hey, even truth can twist with time. But in his world, in this dim light, a crooked line still counts as a line. Your word is your bond or your grave. Choose what you bury, what you say. Once it leaves your mouth, it don't come back. In the smoking shadow, you sign in black. Your word is your bond or your grave. You walk in talking, walk out changed. Every quiet promise carved in stone. Say it like you might not make it home.
He writes her name at the top of the page. Same pen, same left leaning slant. Coffee ring in the corner like a stain. He lets it spread, doesn't wipe it away. How do you thank someone who heard every word you never said out loud? This is the letter I'll never send to the woman who understood my silence. Love was real, but the timing was poison. We were right, just wrong back then. Some stories end mid-sentence, and this is where ours ends. He circles dates on an old wall calendar. All the almost, all the near misses. Her sweater's still on the back of a chair, thread pulled loose like unfinished business. Does she still know what I meant when I only nodded and looked away? This is the letter I'll never send to the woman who understood my silence. Love was real, but the timing was poison. We were right, just wrong back then. Some stories end mid-sentence, and this is where ours ends. If I write, come back, it rewrites her life. If I write, I'm fine, it's a quiet lie. So I stop on a half-spelled word, let it hang there, leave the ink to dry. This is the letter I'll never send to the woman who understood my silence. Love was real, but the timing was poison. We were right, just wrong back then. Some stories end mid-sentence, and this is where ours ends.
Raised in the dark, cold hands, cracked knuckles, breath like a spark. Sleeping in stairwells, rain in his coat, counting each heartbeat like somebody's old. They thought he was nothing less than a threat. He carved out a promise he wouldn't forget. They whisper his name in the alley, soft as a blade at your neck. You owe and you pray he's forgotten. He's the ghost that pays its debts. Brick after brick he was climbing, blood on the ink that he carried. You don't see his face in the daylight, but the ghost still pays its debts. Meetings in basements, smoke in the air, leaders with gold on their fingers, shifting in chairs. He never shouts orders, he barely speaks, just signs with a knuckle, taps once for the week. From scraps on the table to keys to the fence, he traded his mercy for quiet respect. They whisper his name in the tight jaw. Every slide is a mark in his law. Hey, so when the door shakes at 3 a.m., you already know it's just him. They whisper his name in the alleys, soft as the first taste of sweat. You gamble your soul on tomorrow. He's collecting every bet. Brick after brick he was climbing. Now his shadow owns the stairs. You can buy your way out of anything till the ghost comes pay his debt. Oh yeah.
He woke up early, same old coffee cup, same chipped rim, same corner of the rug. Every scar he carried underneath his shirt was a country no one ever had to learn. He won the war, nobody saw, no flags raised, no roaring crowd, just him, his shadow on the wall. In the quiet that finally got loud, he never bent, he never broke, no headline, no shining cross, just a single steady breath of smoke saying, that's enough. That's enough. They ask you good while scrolling on their phones. He smiles small, says yeah, I'm holding on. They don't see the nights he pinned his hands down tight, talking to the ceiling, choosing to stay alive. He won the war, nobody saw, no brass band, no speech out front, just dishes in the sink at dawn. And a heartbeat trying not to jump. He never bent, he never broke, walked barefoot through his private frost. Now every quiet step back home whispers, that's enough. That's enough. No confetti on the kitchen floor, just the echo of a slammed door closing. He stands alone in the afterstorm, finds himself in the slow unfolding. Oh, he won the war, nobody saw, no parade down any street, but the mirror holds a softer jaw, and a man who stayed on his feet. He never bent, he never broke, no ribbon, no marble cross, just him and his shadow, sharing smoke, saying, that's enough. That's enough.
Born by the river, water run brown. Mama said, boys, this world will pull you down. Baptized in trouble before he could stand. Learn how to pray with a bottle
wheel in his hand. He's a crossroads gentleman, mud on his boots, talking sweet. Got dirt under his nails, but he walks like he owns that street. Yeah, the blues chose him long before he ever knew. Diamonds in his mind, cut sharp when he tells that truth. Oh yeah. Jacket all frayed, but the buttons still shine. Keeps a picture in his pocket from a life left behind. Laugh lines, scar lines, all telling one tale of winning small wars in a world built to fail. He's a crossroads gentleman, mud on his boot, talking sweet. Got dirt under his nails, but he walks like he owns that street. Yeah, the blues chose him long before he ever knew. Diamonds in his mind, cut sharp when he tells that truth. Tell the truth. He says, son, you don't find it, it comes looking for you. Then he smiles that crooked smile, says that's how I met the blues. Tip of his hat to the long, long road. Every step he takes got a little piece of soul. He's a crossroads gentleman, mud on his boots, talking sweet. Got dirt under his nails, but he walks like he owns that street. Yeah, the blues chose him like the night chooses the moon. Diamonds in his mind, and he's shining up every room. Oh, crossroads man.